Hello and welcome back again. I think this is where we left off the last time when my dog was making a lot of noise, so I needed to stop. Um, yeah, that was the last part that we did. We needed to make this one solid path. So again, I'm using the same technique to create one big path, and in the end I discovered, like I mentioned earlier, that you can just select only the inner side and delete it, which is very easy and simple. Same here, the little holes that are necessary need to be cut out, which I'm going to do right now, and which I do wrong, of course, because I need to select the solid parts to remove and not the other parts. That's why we are going to revert back now and take some steps back, fill it again, and select the correct parts to cut out. Well, it's human to make mistakes, and as you do it, you learn it. And that's how you create a logo. And it looks like this recording is over, so let's continue to the next video, which is going to be the extraction of the scan. Dean made a scan of the original control panel for me, which is much more nice than a picture, of course, because then you have an actual flat image without any lens curve or correction or things like that. It's just a flat scan. It's always the most easy and best part that you can have for recreating artwork, because it's totally flat and straight, and a camera can never beat it, never. So it's always a little bit difficult when you have a picture, because there is always some angle or something like that. But in the end, it looked like Dean did a good job. He made a scan to me. He sent it in PDF format, but I only need a little part of it, of course, not a complete scan. So I'm going to adjust the artboard, and after that I will save it, and you can see a nice little trick to cut it out like that. I also corrected the rotation in the same time, so it will be nice and straight. And then I open it in Photoshop, and I see I have two artboards, which is nice but not necessary here. So I need to remove the second artboard, and only this part that is selected I need, which will be imported in Illustrator, and you can, or in Photoshop, and you can straight save it to a JPEG or any other format that you like in raster format. And that is the end result, which I can now import in our document that we are using to recreate everything. And that is also, if you followed the earlier videos, you could see that the slot for the joystick is already back to the size that was in since the beginning. What I'm doing is I'm placing it under the artwork that we already made on the base of the measurements, and it looks like it fits pretty good everywhere. It's always difficult to measure and be exactly correct, but it's so small. The joystick holes you won't even know, because later it will not be cut out before printing, or there will not be white spots or whatever. It will just be one piece of black in the sticker, and after applying you puncture the hole and you cut it out on the panel. So it doesn't really matter where exactly the holes are in this moment. Also, I made a second one, a second copy under it. The top one I locked so it will not move or be in the wrong position. And in an attempt to record my screen while I was doing the text, as you can see, this recording I missed because I was in the assumption of that the software was recording my screen, but it apparently didn't record anything about that part. So this was done in another video that unfortunately was not captured. Same procedure as before when doing text. Well, and not in this video series, I haven't explained it. I always use just a font that is or a perfect match or as close as I can find it, and later adjust everything where needed. And you can see that this is not an exact fit. It is very close, but it's not the exact font for this letters. The same for the Japanese text. It's not 100% match of the font used, and it's difficult to find the correct font. So what I do is I type the text, later I convert it to paths, and you can see later that I will manually adjust some of the text where I have an example, because some of the text on the original control panel is missing. So I just need to guess what it is. Of course, because the words are a translation of a word, that is not so difficult to create, but the exact shape is always difficult. And this is just simply a matter of adjusting the things to make it fit in the correct position. And I'm trying to see if I need to adjust something more, and it looks like I do. Yeah, I put an exact copy of that one over the second one, and I delete the original one. So the text of player 1 and player 2 will be exactly the same. It's simply a copy of another one. On to creating the red box. Also there, adjust it, put it in the correct place, copy it, and then take it down to the player 2 section. Also, I discussed this with Dean. The silver part, as you can see from the box here, is straight in the corner here, exactly on the outline of the button. So we are going to move it a little bit to the left, just to make it, yeah, a little bit nicer. As you can see, I made a copy here. I placed it in top of this one, so it will be in the correct position. Looking from left to right, and then move it down without moving it left to right, so it will be exactly in the same position from the outside of the panel. And here is the part I'm talking about. This part is damaged, and here is missing some text, as you can see. And the same is for here. There's missing a character here. So what I did was I just typed the text complete, and I'm going to put everything in order. Let's see, just repositioning, put everything in order, and let's take back some music also for today. I like this song, by the way. It was a nice one. Yeah, this was a nice song. Let's see where we are. Here you can see that the border that I created is not matching up with the border in the original. So what I'm going to do here is simply take a circle that is fitting in that radius. I don't know if Dean gave me the wrong radius or if something else went wrong. It doesn't really matter. It's a matter of fixing it, that it will be correct. Maybe I put in the wrong value, maybe he measured it wrong. It's very difficult to measure, of course, because there is, like I did here with these guidelines, there is no point in the original file to start the measuring from. So here I'm just going to recreate the outer and the inner circle with the help of some circle objects. As you can see, we are just selecting some parts. This is the outline curve that we need. It looks good. Make it a path, a stroke I mean, and give it the width that it needed for the same width as the border. Then I will place 2 lines in it and split it up in 4 parts. And as you can see, after splitting it up, we will have 4 new corners that we can use on top of this one, and in that way we can fix the incorrect radius of the corner. It's just simple using some shapes and objects to fix what you already have. Put everything together again, and it will make a nice and tight corner. Same will be for the black part here in the bottom. You will see that it's the same procedure, which I will show in the next episode. I'll see you guys then.